Well, hi folks, early August now, up at the plot. Not been up for about 10 days, so I'll just show you what's going on and what I've been up to, which isn't anything, as I said. So the peas, I've had about 3 or 4 pickings of these now, and I'll probably do my last picking tonight. So these are the Hurst green shaft, as usual, if I can try and open them with one hand to show you how good they are. I think there's usually 10 peas in a pod. Oh, it's quite hard doing it one-handed. If I open this up, let me just open it up. Bear with. God, this is exciting. Right, how many peas have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. As I said, 10 peas. Yeah, so they're a great pea. Like I said, they're just about finished now, but I've had 3 or 4 pickings. So I've probably got about £10 of peas off this 10-foot row, which is quite good. So I'll finish off picking those tonight. I think that should be about it then. It's not really worth keeping it growing for the sort of handful of peas that will get a little bit bigger. So what I'm going to do, when I've removed all the peas, I'll take all the plant out and I'll plant some turnips in as a successional crop. And they're quite quick growing, so I should have some turnips within about probably 2 months or so. Shallots, although they were really pathetic when I planted them, if you remember. I'm just getting the rubbish out of the way. They're a cracking size now, as usual. Got to be 2 or 3 ounces a piece, some maybe 4 or 5 ounces. Had a few die on me, a few little, you know, as you can see, a few spaces, but generally they've done pretty well. So I've got 3 rows of those in. I haven't weeded them because I'll do the weeding when I pull them up, which will probably be quite soon actually, because I don't want them to get any bigger. Because the longer you leave them, the more chance they have of splitting again, as shallots do, and growing into a split bulb, which are not good for keeping. Spring onions, absolutely humongous. I've planted another row of small plants, but as you can see, they're absolutely massive. And they're just the white Lisbon, again as normal. Need to start harvesting some beetroot really. I've left it too long. But there's some nice sized ones in amongst everything. Planted some in clumps, some as singles. I'll show you the ones I planted. I just planted them as a clump. They've just sort of made their own space. 3 there, as you can see, big, nice big size. So this clump planting, it seems like quite a good idea really. Onions, just starting to flop over now. Not the biggest ever, but I don't mind that. I'd rather have a small onion because they do tend to keep better. So I'm just pulling some up anyway before I start to store them. So I'll just pull one up now, just to show you the sort of general size. Just an average size. So I'm just pulling these up as we need them now, just to eat, instead of waiting until they're all ready to harvest. Just eating them as they come. Garlic still standing, no rust. I think we've got an odd one flopping over, which is a sign that they might be ready. There's only the odd one, but that's probably the wind that's blown them over. But I'll keep these growing until they start going really yellow, and then just topple over naturally. It'll probably be about 2 or 3 weeks. We've got some really hot weather apparently coming up this weekend, so that might finish them off for good. So hopefully get a little bit more bulb size. The carrots, the woe of the carrots. That box has got it now, this disease. I don't know what it is. I think it's blight. Carrot blight, because if you look how sickly they look terrible. I'll pull another one up just to show you. That's looking quite sickly. But as I said, I pulled one up before, it didn't have any carrot flight, which is what red leaves can be a sign of. And yet again, absolutely no sign of carrot flight. Absolutely pristine, clean roots, so it's a mystery. So the leaves are, you know, sort of shrivelling up and dying off, so the carrots probably won't get much bigger than that, but it's not the end of the world, is it? It's a reasonable sized carrot, so like again, because I'm not growing them for show, I'll just pull them up as I'm going, just to eat. A few of the parsnips in the barrel, they're looking a bit light coloured. I might give them a bit of a feed because we've had so much rain. I'll just show you this bucket that I left out. That's about a 15-16 inch bucket of empty fertiliser bucket, full to the top. So we've had about 15 inches of rain in the last month, so it's hardly surprising all the nutrients are getting washed out of the soil and some things are looking a bit sickly. So into the polytunnel bit. This is where I've been growing the lettuces. You can see it needs a really good weeding. I've got a few icebergs coming again, so I'll take that tonight. Might as well take them small instead of letting them go too big. This is the third lot of lettuces in, third lot of little gems. I left that one just to go to seed, just for the sake of it, just to see how tall it'd get. But we're on to the third lot of lettuce now, and I'm getting sick to death of courgettes. These were supposed to be butternut squash when they sold me the plants, but obviously not. But they've grown really well. It's the first time I've ever grown them outside, and they've grown absolutely fantastically. So it just goes to show you don't need a polytunnel or anything to grow courgettes and marrows and stuff. Again, a few more pretty decent looking icebergs actually. Must have enjoyed the wet weather. And the French beans. I think we've just got a few. These are the dwarf ones. Oh yeah, we've got some here. Just about pickable. Oh yeah, look. Like I said, I haven't been up. They're not quite pickable yet. I'll just pick that one. In fact, they are pickable, aren't they, at that size? Might as well start picking some of those. So that's good. Again, not grown dwarf French beans for years, because I just used to grow the cobras outside, but we've got plenty to go at, as you can see. And because I planted them so close together, they're sort of holding each other up, so not too bad. Let's have a look at the, oh God, look at this. Courgette. Well, it was a courgette probably about 3 days ago. Courgette too. You love them, don't you? Again, absolutely tons. So on to the cobra beans. Never grown these outside. Got tons of flowers on. Looking a bit sickly, the old plant, but they're getting tall. That's about, I can't touch the top of that, so that's getting on for 9 feet tall. If I have a root about, I'll just nettle my backside out. We are getting some beans on, but they're not bulking up very quickly. But they should do eventually. Got a little snail there. Doesn't appear to be anything inside it. Yeah, so we are getting some French beans on. Probably all come at once as usual. But obviously not as prolific as when they're inside in the heat, but we're getting some. First signs of some. So into my last beds. These are the leeks. Gave them a good weeding the other day. Doing quite well this year, the leeks. Quite a mild start, and well, hot start, and then plenty of water. Obviously got the roots down, so looking all right. The parsnips, now the initial 2 that came up, I did plant another 10 or so seeds, and they've come up slowly after the rest. So I should have a few parsnips, even though it was a bit of a shaky start for them. And then if I get out of the sun, this is my purple sprouting broccoli. Won't get anything off it this year, but looking healthy. No signs of any caterpillars on, thanks to the netting. Big plants, so I'll keep those over winter, and hopefully early on next year we'll get a nice crop of purple sprouting broccoli spears. Just pulled a couple of little gems out of this bit, which needs a good weeding, as does a lot of things. But there's loads of lettuce. I always grow far too many lettuce. And then finally, we do have some sweet peas. Well, they need a good picking tonight. They were dead slow coming, but they're all coming now, so that's something to add a bit of colour to everything. So that's about it, folks, really. Just a very quick update, show you what's been going on. Trees are growing well this year. Got a few decent pictures of some deer, so that's how it's going. So hope everyone's staying well, staying safe, and hopefully we can get over this horrible disease thing eventually, and we can all go back completely to normal. So anyway, until next time, folks, I'll see you later.